everyone, it's Anne Manera, and we are coloring again today from Color Along Volume 19, the variety coloring book for color alongs. And today's topic is monochromatic. And if you've never colored in the monochromatic style before, it's all about just using one color. Now, different shades could be used. I'll be using Castle Art Seascape colored pencils. This is a 24 set. And we're just going to randomly pick a color to use for this entire page. And we're just going to, actually, I think I'll just use this one. This one's calling my name. Purple Lake Deep is the color for this. It's got a good point on it. And I'm just going to get started as we're coloring. So the monochromatic technique is all about coloring with one color. Different shades. Now, you could certainly use mixed media for this. You could also use a variety of pencils for this. For example, if I want to use this lavender pencil, which I guess I will, this is still in the same family of color or the same shade of color, or I guess it's just another shade of purple. So I'm coloring the petals of this flower with Purple Lake Deep. And just kind of using a medium pressure. And then the way this is going to vary and start to look like it's colored with different colors is as we move along, we are going to vary the pressure. You could also vary the technique. You could do some shading, maybe some from a light to dark gradation of color, or from a dark to light gradation of color, or you can use a burnishing technique. And we'll try to I'll try to implement all of those techniques into this. So it's kind of a fun way to just kind of say, well, I only have this one color. Now, sometimes we color with sometimes I'll do a color along with just a number 2 pencil or just a blue pen. Same concept as far as being monochromatic. So same type of thing. So it's just kind of a fun way to say, well, you know, I only have this one shade. I don't really feel like picking all the colors, and this is how I'm going to just color it. I guess this is kind of what's behind here, right? So we'll just kind of color that right there. And maybe this is kind of behind it, a little bit lighter on that, a little bit lighter there. And now let's do the center part with the heavier pressure in the middle for these little circles or ovals in the middle of the flower. So this page can also be found in my book, Hearts and Flowers, which is available on my website only as a PDF, or you can also get a printed version on my website, and you can take a look at those. I have so many books available on my website as PDF books. It's incredible. Every book. Not every book is available on Amazon, but every book is available on my website, annemanera.com. So check that out. So here's that mauve color. And I'm just going to use the same mauve color here. So we're still in the monochromatic. We're still kind of coloring in the same technique. Just because we just use 2 different colored pencils does not mean that we have changed anything. Now, for this petal here, we want that to look like a different color. So I'm going to color this one in this direction and lighter. Now, I could mix them. I could blend them together. We'll try that with something. And I'm kind of getting it to be a little bit, not really scribbly, but I want that texture to show. And if you could just, hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel too. I don't like to say that too many times. But it really helps. Give this video a like. Give it a thumbs up. Hit that bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. New color alongs continue to post every Monday and Thursday here on my YouTube channel by 10 a.m. Sometimes I pop them on there earlier, but usually it's 10 a.m. And then the other thing that is going to be happening is that this book will end on October 13th. So we only have a couple more color alongs after this. Today's October 6th, so we only have 2 more, I believe, after this. And then on November 7th, we'll be beginning my 20th volume, and you can get the link to get that book here in the description of this video. All right, so let's get back to the task at hand coloring. I'm going to color this with a heavy pressure for the vein of this particular leaf. And this is an easy page, especially if you don't have a lot of supplies. You know, maybe you only have a couple of sets of coloring supplies. Or maybe you only like to use a certain set of coloring supplies. Maybe you don't like to use a lot of different things. Maybe you're hooked on those colored pencils. I'm just going to give this a heavy pressure for the outline of this leaf. And I usually sharpen these with my Boss Stitch pencil sharpener. It's the electric one. And now we've got the inside of that, and I'm just going to kind of go with a kind of a medium pressure on the inside of that leaf. Just trying to stay in the lines as much as possible, but you know, hey, staying in the lines isn't all it's cracked up to be, right? I mean, it doesn't really make a difference if you're in the lines, does it? All right, let's do some blending next with these two different colors. And I feel like this leaf right here this flower right here could be it. So I'm going to color just kind of a light pressure on this. And these are kind of a soft lead pencil. And then I'm going to go over it with this mauve. And what the mauve is actually kind of acting like is a colorless blender. So it's kind of blending that in, and it's really changing that color. So let's do the same thing here. Sometimes I use white when I'm coloring in the monochromatic technique, and I actually change the color, so we could do that, I guess. I can pull out my white. Not all sets of pencils have white, actually. Did you ever notice that? Here again, this color here, this Purple Lake Deep. Purple Lake Deep. What an odd name. Don't you think it should be called Deep Purple Lake? All right, now, so here's the mauve. Right there. And here again. So I'm blending that, changing the color. It's almost like I added white. It reminds me when I add white to blue on top of the blue. It's really kind of lightening it up, but at the same time, it's darkening it. Isn't it weird? You would think that a light color, it's like it's spreading the Purple Lake Deep even more. Oh, that looks really pretty. Now, I'm going to go with a dark color here from Purple Lake Deep, because I want this to have a little bit of contrast that's happening there. And then here again, Purple Lake Deep around this edge. I may have to sharpen this. I want to say it's so quiet right now as I'm coloring this, but I don't want to jinx myself. Usually I'm dealing with the pitter-patter of the dog's feet, but apparently they are deciding to take a little bit of a break right now, so it's fine with me. I'm going to give it a little bit of mauve in the behind section here and over here too. And then for this flower, I'm going to use a dark, heavy pressure for the ovals inside like I did for the other one. And then I'm going to color this Purple Lake Deep on the inside. And then let's use this white to get this Purple Lake Deep to kind of become a different color. Now, the other thing that you could do too is we're working with purple today. That's my monochromatic color today, is purple. So I could certainly use red and blue colored pencils and blend those together to create that purple. So as long as we're sticking with the purple family, we are within our monochromatic rule. A rule. I keep saying that to my dogs lately. This is the rule. All right, so there's that kind of lavender color. Now this flower and this flower just kind of look, when I look at those, I just think to myself, so much potential to just simply kind of vary what's happening with this, with the colors. So let's take this right here from the top of the petal, and I usually do it the other way actually, but do a little bit of a heavy pressure and then gradation down to white, or to lighter, not white. So here, in the shape of what it is, in the direction of what it is, there we go. Same thing with this. Direction, I think you get it now, right? Don't have to spell it out every single time. You know, let me also know in the comments, what other type of videos would you like to see on my YouTube channel? I'm always interested to hear back from everyone to see what type of videos you would like to see on my YouTube channel, helping me to grow the channel. I'm kind of stuck right now in this channel. I'm not really sure why I'm stuck on this channel, but we have the Fall Fling coloring gathering coming up in a few weeks. So if you've not signed up for that, you can catch the link to that in my description of this video. It's down below. That's going to be really exciting. We're going to be working on 2 different coloring techniques at that gathering, and it's going to be held live on Facebook in a private group. It's $9.99 a person, but you're going to get not only the tutorial pages that we'll be working on, which will be 2 pages, but you're also going to get some fall themed coloring pages, and you'll get 10 of those, and you'll also get 8 activity pages in the packet. You can order either a PDF or you could order a printed packet of pages. It's not necessarily a bound book. I'm printing everything in my studio, so that is I'm printing those pages here, right here in my studio. So you'll get a package of pages from me. So hopefully you can join in on that. That'll be a lot of fun. All right, so see how that just kind of made a gradation? I'm going to do the same thing here. And I'm going to start out with the dark section at the top and then lighten up. And I want to sometimes we don't want to see the gradation, but because this is something that is a flower and it's kind of something from nature, I want to see the gradation. I want to see that it almost kind of creates a texture. Guess that's like the center of it right there. And again here. So we're just following that same technique here as on the opposite flower. And the other thing too is it's going to allow our eye to travel from one side of the heart to the other, which is creating a nice rhythm. And I'm trying my best not to sharpen this because I like the dullness of the tip of the pencil. I don't really want to have too much of a scratchy point. Sometimes when I have a point on a pencil, I kind of break it a little bit, you know, break off that tip. Do you do that? Let me know in the comments what you do, about what you prefer. A dull tip of your colored pencils, or are you kind of a I have to have a sharp point type colorist, you know? All right, so I'm going to use this darker heavy pressure for the mauve right here, and right here also, because that's kind of a petal that's peeking through. And then I'm going to use heavy pressure here for this kind of like outline of the flower. Now for this one right here, I am going to color this all the same pressure, but I'm coloring each section of this flower the same, or separately, I'm sorry, separately, the same but separately. I just feel like I have more control over it rather than coloring just like, you know, the whole thing at once. You could, I guess, whatever your preference is. What do you do? When you have something that is this type of thing, what do you, type of illustration, do you color each individual section like I'm doing, or are you coloring the whole thing? All right, now I'm going to take my white and I'm going to go over it. And it's going to kind of tone it down and lighten it a little bit, but not really, not much. And that is really, this last flower really just completes this page. So again, monochromatic technique. This page can also be found in my book, Hearts and Flowers, which is available only as a PDF or a printed version on my website only. So you can take a look at the link in the comments for this book. And thanks so much for watching. Hey, have a great day.